now because, you know, Marbury was an offensive beast.
No, you're not in that.
He turned it to it well. Yeah, it's a better option.
You there?
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Marbury was an offensive monster, but Harper was just that solid guy.
I was gonna say, I think for like true point guard, like what you want your point guard to be, leader, defender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Assist guy. Yep.
Nah, my favorite was Mark Jackson. Like he was just the essence of New York. Like he knew how to get. He made sure Patrick got the ball, and that doesn't happen in the NBA anymore. That's why big man is trying to shoot 3-pointers because the point guards ain't getting it to him in the post no more.
Right.
Yeah, the game definitely has changed, man, in a lot of ways. They was talking about, I was watching an interview with Horace Grant. He was saying how they used to really compete during the All-Star game. Because he like, yo, we got that $25,000 bonus, plus we kind of set the tone for the next half of the season, whatever. And you look at the All-Star game now, it's a big show. It's all about entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So the game is just, it's changing every dynamic that it's supposed to, I guess. And the old niggas is used to what they used to. It's like hip-hop. You know what I mean? It's like, where that sound at?
You know what I'm saying? It's somewhere because it's a different genre of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people say that the rules changed to be more inclusive of the European international players because they don't play as physical as, you know what I'm saying, the NBA was. In the interest of globalizing the game, it makes sense, but I was talking about this with somebody else, like, it's not the same game that's played in the playgrounds anymore. So there's a disconnect. You know what I mean? Like, before, like, New York was the mecca of basketball because the same game that they played at the Garden, they played at the Rucker. Now, they're worlds away. You know what I'm saying? You see a few players that can, you know what I'm saying, do both, but most wouldn't even try.
I think they crafted the game to be this way. I think it's also the offense, man. They want to see running and gunning, you know, and I think that's what baseball is missing. Is the NBA has the right idea, which is why you've seen the NBA's popularity go up again versus baseball's going the other direction. You know, they've made the game harder, like the shift. Like, I'm not a fan of the shift, you know, because it takes away from the ability of the hitters to do what they do.
Right.
It stacks the deck against them. Now, a minor shift, you know, moving a guy close to the second or whatever, that makes sense. When you got 3 guys on one side of the field, because you know a guy tends to hit it to the left side, yeah, the guy can hit it to the right side, but if he does that, he may mess up his, you know what I mean? Like, mess up his swing. Let him do what he does. Let the game be entertaining. You know what I mean? And I think the NBA got that to an extreme. Like, I'm not a fan of the current NBA either because you can't, I like hand checking. You know what I mean? I like the idea of kind of keeping a guy in front of you without moving him. There's a difference, you know. Like, I think they could legislate that in a better way, but that's where the NBA has kind of gotten soft. Is you hear a whistle every 20 seconds,
right?
Which drives me crazy. Right. Like, I want to see these guys play. Let them get physical. Let somebody get knocked down. Let somebody get bumped. It's not the end of the world. Right. The malicious hits, the hard hits, the non-basketball plays, like that stuff. I, you know, call
understandable.
But that's where the NBA, I think, is getting their popularity from, is the action and the scoring.
Yeah, constant.
And baseball can learn a lot from that, man.
I don't like the inability to express emotion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, in the NBA? It's like, all right, if I dunk on you, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, I should be able to scream. I should be able to express, you know what I mean? Or whatever. If I'm mad at the call, yeah, I should be able to talk a little bit of shit.
Let the referee know that you didn't appreciate the way that call was officiated.
And the fans like that.
You know?
You know what I mean? It's genuine.
Yeah.
You know?
It's part of the game, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, as soon as somebody get upset, teeing them up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Saying a few words, teeing, and it's just whack because it just messes up the game, man.
The
I'm looking
NFL,
for the energy.
You know what I'm saying? They recognized that they were doing too much and shutting down too many celebrations. You know what I'm saying? Because they had that spree where like T.O. and Joe Horn were just entertaining, like they were lighting up ESPN. You know what I'm saying? Every every chance they got.
And the fans like it, right?
Yeah, but they lost that. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that, you know what I'm saying, their, you know what I'm saying, constituents who, you know what I'm saying, they cater to, you know what I'm saying, the people who pay the most, didn't want to see that. But, nah, we all want to see that. You know what I'm saying? They started introducing it back into the league. You know what I'm saying? So that was fun last year, but I wonder if, they got this new rule about tackling where you can't use your helmet. You know what I'm saying? If you lead with your helmet, it's considered a 15-yard penalty.
Right.
And proper tackling form dictates that you lead with your face mask and you put that shit on the football.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Every time.
Right.
Like, and you put that shit on the football so it impedes the ball carrier's progress. So, you know what I'm saying? There's another one of those rules that they're introducing to try to bring more offense to the game. Because now, I got to arm tackle you. And there's some dudes out there that
Harder, right?
they laugh at arm tackles.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it plays out. You know what I'm saying? Because they did it a couple years ago with the, you know what I'm saying, when New England was out there mauling people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? In the secondary, they came up with the 5-yard rule, and yeah, that opened up a lot of things for wide receivers, but it made it harder for defenders, and they were able to adjust. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see how it plays out. Because it's going to be...
Offense is king,
different.
man. You know, just like when they had the home run era. You know, they got, you know, the steroid era. The business, the owners, they loved it. They made a crazy amount of money. Things were popular. I don't get villainizing these guys. You know, and again, did they step outside the lines? Yeah. But the whole system was with it. You know, and I think baseball, they figured it out, though, because they changed the baseball in the last 2 years. More home runs. Yeah, guys are striking out more, but more offense.
Yeah.
They're hoping to get people to watch more. They need to take the shift out. And I think that's where basketball is winning. I think the problem is with the NFL, which is similar to the NBA, I think to your point, Jay, is they want to control the emotions of the players. Mm-hmm. Where, you know, to draw a fair comparison, look at hockey. They don't corral those guys' emotions. And again, and I have to say, this year I'm going to watch a little more hockey because I do want to understand the game. I want to get familiar with it.
Right.
Because again, I think it's pure. Let guys be emotional in the game that they're playing. You know, now do you want it just to go get out of control? No, but I think that they let those guys be athletes and men.
And they control the situation. They say, all right, yo, y'all gonna do that? All right.
Having a disagreement?
Go ahead and get your fight. We're gonna cut it down when it gets excessive.
Get it out your system, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Right. You'll never see that. And we know why you'll never see that in these other sports.
Right.
Because the fans would be scared to death. You know what I mean?
It's true.
You remember when they ran up in the stands that time, right?
True.
That changed a lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying with the game.
And dudes done it in hockey, and they still let them fight. You know, so it's. I think in that sport, to their credit, they're pure in that form. It's like, yo, this is part of the game. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. But I think in basketball and football especially, they're controlling the emotions of the players in a way that, just like in baseball, I say, like, I love watching the what is it, the World Baseball Championship or World whatever they have, the WBC, whatever they call it, because you get the Latin American teams that. They celebrate when they hit a home run. They celebrate with like have fun. Like, yo, as they say, if you don't like it, stop us. You know what I mean? Like that, and I appreciate that because this is the problem that American baseball has.
That's the essence
it's
of
very controlled in that regard. Where it's like,
flip the bat.
yo, when Joey Bats hit that home run and tossed his bat that time, the time was a big deal.
Yeah.
I love that shit, and I don't even care for Toronto or him. Yeah. But it was like. I feel you, man. Like, if you can't experience something like that in life, I feel bad for you. In some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Like, enjoy that.
Why do you feel bad because someone else is shining right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you said, if you don't like it, stop.
Right.
Stop me.
Right.
It's like the mentality of giving all kids awards.
Right.
Yeah,
regardless
exactly.
of who wins. You know what I mean? Like,
your feelings should not be involved in this right now.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? This is about competitiveness.
And it sets a bad tone.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it sets a bad tone. Because here's the thing about, I think the way that the world is structured now is it just says, just participate. You know what I mean? Like, don't try to be the best. Don't pay attention to details. Don't worry about, giving, supreme effort. Mm-hmm. If you show up, you'll get a trophy.
Meanwhile, the people that are telling you that got their foot on somebody's neck.
You know? But here's what that does to the exceptional person too. It tells the exceptional person, why should I kill myself? I'm gonna get the same trophy you get at the end of the year.
Exactly.
You know, why should I?
It doesn't.
You know, so I think there's that impact that has as well. You know, and it's this is where I think again, it's, at least to bring the conversation back to the sports part, is it should be fun. You know, you should be able to enjoy yourself in the moment, because really and truly that's what it's about. You know, it's about the home run. It's about the game winner.
Shit, man.
You know, it's about the big play. You know, that's what
Like
it's
that,
about.
that works for life too. Like it should be fun. You should be able to enjoy yourself in the
Right.
moment. You know what I'm saying? And that passive aggressive care about my feelings because over enraged over things that don't really matter, like that it's taken over society in such a large number that, like, if we don't make a conscious decision to move in the other direction, like it's gonna become what we are, and that ain't the best of us. You know what I'm saying? Like we like we could really just come together and decide what's best for all of us and take all the feelings out of the situation of all parts. Like even like there's a lot of feelings on the racial side of things, but like there's a better way to do what we're doing as humans. You know what I'm saying? And if we can get to that, like why not live a better life collectively? I understand, like, yeah, individually we need to grind, you need to do it for yourself, but we can do this shit together, and we all be rocking. Like,
Yeah, right. Shit, you just talking about the NBA. We could look at it like this: what we see today with these players, and everybody saying, "Oh, they don't want to be as competitive. They don't want to do this." Everybody's joining up with the super teams and everything. But there's a message in that, because what they're saying is, listen, man. I'm strong, you strong. Let's just put all this shit together and dominate everything. And
That's
put our
win.
egos to the side, fuck the feelings, fuck all that shit.
win.
That's it. That's what we're here to do, right? So let's just all get together and let's get it done. So now you're seeing, all right, Golden State, they took the lead on that. So now LA's like, all right, we got our model coming. You know what I'm saying? But you can even make an argument, say Boston. You know what I'm saying? They did their thing with the 3-man situation. But you starting to see it evolve.
But you can take it back further to Boston, like Bill Russell era. Like I was talking to somebody about this. Like Bill Russell got 11 rings, but we don't hold his 11 rings in as high a regard because he played with like 19 Hall of Famers. You know what I'm saying? And it's cute, but low key. The nigga got 11 rings. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he should be considered the pinnacle of
I'll say I think
achievement.
the parallel is a great parallel, and I think in the societal way it's a great representation of that. But I think in a 30-team league, I'm not a fan of that shit. But I get what you mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
think at the end of the day,
I want to see competition.
Right,
Don't get me
right.
wrong.
But I think that the ability
side.
of people of that ability level to all sit in one room and say we can be a team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think that's special.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
back
that's
in the
special.
day, it was like Jordan look at you and like, you man, fuck you too. You know what I'm saying? But that's how
I
they
just
felt
had
about
dinner
each
the night
other.
before, but we on the
You know
court
what I mean?
right now. It's fuck you.
Yeah,
Right?
and that's how they was rocking, and that was the mentality of the players, and it created a better league, it created a more competitive league. But I can't knock what they're doing these days from a fan standpoint. Yeah, I don't like it, but from their standpoint, I understand what they're doing. I see the strength and power in the decisions that they're making. Can't deny it. You know what I'm saying? LeBron going to LA, big move, huge move. You know what I'm saying? Huge.
I think what the NBA is doing an ill job of, though, is leading in the player having the authority.
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason why a lot of other leagues don't care for them, and a lot of fans in a lot of ways don't care for that. You know, because these are a bunch of young black guys who are basically saying, I'm going to dictate what I do from a year to year, 2-3 year time frame. Like LeBron is, I think him moving this third time, people aren't as up in arms about it because it's become normal again.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like, that's how it should be.
Right.
You know, like you've earned that right to be able to say, I'm going to play here, I'm going to play there, I'm going to go here, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to leave here, like whatever it may be. You know, and I think that that's a beautiful thing. And to draw the parallel to the NFL, I really hope that the cats in the NFL, and it's easier said than done, you know, because you see a lot of this stuff and it's easy to see it be like, yeah, I strike or I do like, you know, that's easier said than done, and there's bigger stakes in line, especially for the cats who are borderliners, you know, to say, I'm not going to show up for work, we're going to hold the line. It's like, all right, if you're a borderliner who ain't never got that big check, who ain't never got that big contract, it's easier said than done. Again, but it's easier said than done. To sit here and be like, yeah, I would. Like, all right, but you got, your aunt needs this medical procedure, your brother needs this, your mother's house about to get taken away. Like, there's more to it than that. But I think the NFL needs to take their lead in saying, we're the product and without us, there's no you. You know, I think that's the problem in the NFL. Those players haven't gotten to that realization where there's no NFL without us. You can put motherfuckers in pads and helmets, but they can't do what we do. You know what I mean?
Yo, this is the biggest thing to me. It's like, with the NFL especially, they should be the highest paid players in any profession.
Right.
Because of the physicality of the sport. And most of your players are leaving with brain injuries,
Right.
lifelong physical injuries,
Right.
that they're never going to get over when they're in their 50s and 60s and shit start, you know what I'm saying, tightening up on them. And it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Especially, there's no guaranteed money damn near. You know what I mean? Just because you see a nigga with a contract for $150 million, he might see 50, 60. You know, by the time everything is said and done, the careers are shorter. They knew about the brain injuries and all of that shit way ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? So they knew what they was doing to these guys, putting them out there. They had fucking concussions. Let's just give them some whatever. Throw them right back out there on the field.
Hid the fact that they were killing these people.
You know what I'm saying? Basically, for money. For dollars.
Documented, they hit it.
You know what I'm saying? For other people's entertainment, man. And it's crazy, man. That's why, like I said, my son, as far as the NFL is concerned on football, if anything, and I probably wouldn't even let him play, but if I did change my mind, it wouldn't be until he was 13, 14. I wouldn't put him in there that young to be getting that type of contact and all of that, because it's proven, man. Why? You know what I'm saying? I love football. Love football. Football overtook my love for basketball for a little while. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man. The facts are the facts. What these guys are doing for the sake of entertaining other people, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's not for the sake of entertaining other people. Like, I'm a 300. When I played football, I was a 350-pound ogre, and the only place I got to be the truest form of myself was on a football field. I didn't have to shrink down and not knock into. Like, I can be as big as I wanted to be. I can be as forceful as I wanted to be, and like that shit was fucking magic. And if my son wants to tap into that magic at 6 because the world doesn't understand him, but the football field does, yeah, I'm gonna protect him, but be free, be you, be true. You know what I
When
mean?
I said for the sake of entertaining other people, I'm speaking more from the owner's perspective, who had the knowledge of what was happening. You know what I'm saying?
They are treacherous in that aspect. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, anybody that's played even for a minute, I tell you, I don't care what level you play, you know it's a rigorous sport.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless, you go out there in the heat with the helmet and with the pads and all the type of shit, running around and all the type motherfuckers falling out on the field, heat stroke this, you know what I'm saying? That shit is a rigorous sport. Some motherfuckers die in football practice. You know this shit. Football ain't no motherfucker. It's like boot camp. You know what I'm saying? And these people that go out there every Sunday, Thursday night, Monday night, they fucking warriors, man. You know what I'm saying? They nothing less. They like modern day gladiators, so to speak.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Shit is real. We don't know see guys get carted off the field, knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Just like extreme injuries, man, for a paycheck, man. And it's crazy, man. It's insane.
And if they understand their value, they can definitely shift the paradigm on salaries. You know what I'm saying? And like, we can talk about what they deserve, because like the NFL, it's a situation where the money is there to provide for them after the fact, to, you know what I'm saying, make sure the proper regulations and, you know what I'm saying, precautions are taken. You know what I'm saying? But like there was like the rookie of the year for the WNBA, she was talking about how that, you know what I'm saying, they should make as much as the NBA. But there's a situation where the money isn't there for you to make as much as the NBA. The WNBA isn't bringing in those numbers.
I actually read an article that was a follow-up to that one because she got a lot of backlash on that. She wasn't saying they should get paid as much as they should, as much as the NBA players. She's saying they should get as much of the revenue sharing as
That
the
I
NBA
respect.
players get. And that's, she's like, yeah, I get that. We don't bring as much money in, but the NBA players, I think, get 50%. I think they get 15 or 20.
Oh yeah, that's a
So
travesty.
yeah, there should be more money distributed there. Because like, I think I was reading an article where they were like, Diana Taurasi makes like 70 grand for her WNBA season. That's a joke. That's a joke. Many people show up by jerk, like, you know what I mean? There are plenty of players. Shit, we can name 20 or 30 female players that are big names. But it's like to hear someone who's at the top of their field as an athlete making with someone who might be a telemarketer, you know, or, you know, selling something over the phone might make, like, that's wild.
Yeah.
You know, because again, those are long days. You know, those are long days.
Traveling,
You know.
road, all type of shit.
And I think that's where it's funny that the movie Sorry to Bother You is about. The movie is about the telemarketers trying to set up a union. And that's one of those things, like you said, when you talk about being in the workforce, is how much is your work worth? And if you're not getting paid what it's worth, how far are you willing to go to try to get what it's worth? You know what I mean? And the paradigm of, and that's in the movie without getting into it too much, he gets ahead because he's like exceptional at what he does. You know what I mean? Like he's really good at selling over the phone or whatever. So he gets kind of snatched up for the big boy sales. While the people he's from, you know, the group he started with, they're all getting paid, you know, bullshit. So it's like, all right, for the one that gets out, so to speak, and starts making decent money, there's the rest who can't, you know, or who have it. And all right, now they're like, oh, you foul, you know what I mean? You moved on up, you know, got your check. And he's like, what you want me to do? Like, I'm not. It's an interesting topic, but again, when you talk about getting paid what you're worth, is identifying what it's worth and doing what you can to get what you think you're worth.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what the NFL really needs to get to that point of. That's the bubble for them. That's where they exercise their power, because I think even the protests kind of poked the bear in the owners, because the owners now, well, again, like, what are y'all doing? You're not allowed to do this. I can talk about politics, you can't talk about politics, or, you know, whatever it may be. And I think they can reset that relationship by having one of those grandstands where it's like, we're not showing up. You know, we're not showing up. Go ahead, practice in the off season, but on day one, like,
Right, nobody moves.
like, peep the shock to the system. Like, again, this is all pie in the sky. But if on the first game of the year after they changed the anthem protest thing, half of the team didn't go out after the, you know, to start the game. Literally, refused to go out. Go ahead, play that game. Play with the third string quarterback, play with the fourth string wide receiver, if they come out. If they're not with it, you know, for whatever reason. But see what the quality of your game is going to be without us. And see what the impact is going to be on the backlash, like the news cycle, the people who ain't going to watch it no more because these players got the nerve to protest it. You know what I mean? Like, that's where you would shock the system, because then there has to be a real dialogue. Then you have to come sit down and talk to us, because if not, hey, do what you got to do. But it's on the union to hold them down, and, you know, there's a lot of contingencies to that. Like, I've heard a lot of different discussions about how to deal with that. But, you know, making sure people have money to the side, you know, making sure people are not going to starve or lose their houses and things like that.
That's
and,
the
you
most
know,
valuable part.
adversely impact your family, right?
This strike.
You know, but fascinating stuff. And that would really turn the system upside down on that note.
It's interesting, man, because even with the Kaepernick case, you know, he's suing the NFL for collusion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For keeping him out of the game. And one of the things that they found is one of the owners said they were considering, they kept his name anonymous, he was considering signing Cap until he heard what Trump said about him. And that influenced him not to sign. You know what I'm saying? So what you're seeing is a willingness, first of all, whoever his owner is was willing to throw the president under the bus. You know what I'm saying? Quick, fast, in a hurry. He's like, nah, this is what happened. But it's going to kind of force them to change. Even though they don't want to, they're going to have to do something. You know what I'm saying? In regards to this whole protest situation, Kaepernick situation. I don't know if they're going to go as far as to sign Kaepernick again. I might not even recommend that he even come into the league again, because that just gives him too much of an opportunity to fuck with you. You're too close to your enemies now. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think that he has it looks like he has something as far as this collusion thing is concerned against the NFL.
Yeah, they're finding some evidence, some facts.
Oh yeah, yeah, they digging up some dirt. You know what I'm saying? So, anytime they take your cell phones and all of that, you know it's real. Like they really looking. You know what I'm saying, for something. So, you know.
And if you did something, it's on your cell phone.
always, man. But it'll be interesting, man. I know I haven't. Last year was tough for me, man. But I didn't watch last year. I'm not planning on watching this year. But I really am interested to see how this whole dynamic plays out. Because, I mean, like, people get knocked off Papa John's out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
It took a long time for him to get out of there, too, man.
Yeah,
he had a couple of instances, man.
It just did it for him, though. But it's just because it's causing casualties, man. They're losing viewership on both sides of the fence.
Right.
Because you got people that don't like the protest. You got people that do like the protest.
Yeah.
Both are saying, you know what, F y'all. So who do we...
And it impacts him. You know,
what I
like,
mean?
I'll say for myself, like, I can't say I have stopped watching football, but football was a priority for me for a few years.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
if it was Sunday,
Yeah.
I wasn't going nowhere,
Yeah,
I wasn't doing nothing, I was watching my game. Now it's just like, all right, if I catch a game, I catch a game. You know, but I think they've definitely ruined their brand. And the interesting part about everything that's happened is how they've ruined it, like you said. You got the people who back Kaepernick who are like, I'm not rocking with it at all because of how they treating them. Then you got the people who are like, well, they're protesting during the national anthem, so I'm not watching. You know what I mean? So it's just, they've lost it on both sides of the argument. And it's good for them, but I don't think that impacts their business much because they got these contracts from the TVs, they got the apparel, they got, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's enough money coming in where, they're not
Checks
making as
already
much, but they're not losing, they're not losing house payments.
Well, this is the thing. They sign new contracts every year. Some are longer than others. But you have new people who try to get these commercial spots who give them their money. Now, you're not going to attract as many people to give you that money or not as much
That's
money
where it's going to hit. Yep.
if your viewership isn't what it should be. Because we all know, like you said the other day, commercials pay for TV.
Yeah.
TV doesn't pay for TV.
Right.
If I can draw in a crowd, I can get the advertisers, I can get the dollars. That's what it's all about. Especially with the NFL. When they sign those contracts, Fox says, no, I want you. CBS says, no, I want you. They have bidding wars. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to carry this shit? Because they know it's a million motherfuckers around the world watching. That's why we taking trips to London and playing games. So we can get more viewership over there. Or we going to this country. So I think it does have an impact on them. And I think I definitely saw that last year when I caught a commercial. It was one of the freestyle dudes. One of the battle rapper dudes. I can't even think of his name because I'm not crazy into the battle rapping situation. But he was in the shop. He had all his boys in there. He was battling somebody who had on their NFL jerseys. And I'm like, look at this shit. They trying to cater to niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit wasn't no accident. This is in the midst of the height of the protest. Cap ain't playing. People mad. All of a sudden, I was like, all right, niggas is doing something down here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, yeah,
Right.
y'all trying to draw that crowd back in there, if anything. So, I don't know, man. We gonna see. Like I said, I'm a big fan of the sport, man. Love the sport, but I can't rock with it right now for reasons that are bigger than what I might like or prefer at this particular time. And I don't judge nobody that does, because we all gotta do what we gotta do. I understand.
I'm about to
You know what I
defend myself, like, because did the Kaepernick situation cue you into the racist aspect of the NFL?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not in any way whatsoever. And I'll tell you this, to be honest with you. I'm a Mets fan, right? Only time I saw Donald Trump in person was coming out of Citi Field, because he does business with the Wilpons, right? The Jets, the owner, Woody Johnson, he's on the Trump administration. I remember him saying he'd rather, what he say, never win a Super Bowl than Barack Obama be reelected when he was running in 2012. I don't give a fuck about politics, but I know it was racially motivated. You understand what I'm saying? So no, I know it's always been there. However, this was such a in-your-face example of like, nah, what are y'all talking? It was just so blatant. Put it like that. It was just the most blatant, like, no, this nigga can play. What are you talking? We just gonna say, nah, we ain't gonna sign you. You know what I'm saying?
I think as a viewer, and this is an interesting discussion to have, so I'm glad we're having it. I think as a viewer, there's different ways to take the NFL thing, quote unquote, because there's a lot going on. There's layers to it now, even though it's really about one thing.
Yeah,
there's layers to it. You know, I think it's an interesting thing because I'll say, I think if you have come to a decision where you're not gonna watch it, it's because of there's something in particular where you're like, I'm not fucking with it because of that. And for me, as someone who's like, all right, I can watch it, but I can't, live and die for it or be stuck to it on the clock. And I'll be honest with you again, how I look at it. I watch it for the game in and of itself and for the players playing it. Like, not for the owners, not for those guys making money. Like, I'm not going to no stadiums. I'm not buying no jerseys. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, that side of it won't work with me as far as pumping money into it. But I appreciate the strategy. I appreciate watching these guys do what they do as athletes at the highest level and all that good stuff. But I think also a part of me is with you in I'm so turned off by the attack that impacts my ability to enjoy the product. You know what I mean? Where it's like I can't enjoy it the way I used to regardless because y'all definitely have taken a dismissive kind of, in lockstep with the shit that I'm against type shit in regards to how they've approached it. So I think it's an interesting discussion, man.
And
That's a view.
In the vein of speaking of being on the same page and moving toward a goal, anytime I see like us standing up against bullshit like this on front page, more times than not, I'm drawn into it. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck with y'all.
Like, that's what we doing?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm
Nigga, that's what we doing.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
We gonna rock. Fuck it. No football. Alright, fuck it. No football. Man. That's cool. I could do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it impacts their business. Yeah. But you got a group now that's like, alright. You know what I mean? We on the same accord for something, and it just feels good to be a part of that with your people sometimes. Even if you can just steal those moments here and there and shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, fuck it.
I feel you.
Yeah. But, it was hard. I ain't gonna lie, man. It was fucking hard, man. After a while, the first couple games and all that, because y'all know me, man. I love the Jets, nigga.
Really, it's
12,
I can give the rest of the NFL up, but the Jets?
It's hard, man. It's hard, man.
Oh, man.
You know? Yeah. It's a major sacrifice.
Like, all right, if I give up the Jets, are we gonna do something? Like, can we, really? Not just stop watching football. Can we
And then even to speak with the when you said did you cue me into the race of the example I meant to bring up with the NBA, the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? That shit was crazy. You know what I mean?
Like, that shit was wicked.
That shit was crazy.
That nigga said some wild shit, and it was like, all right, you got to go. Well, we gonna cash you out on the way.
Yeah.
On the way to your car, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You got like 30 other major brands anyway, so you'll be fine. You'll be all right. You ain't losing no stuff.
Like, even if you didn't, here's $2 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Go see you.
Highest sale up, right? At that particular time in the NBA. Come on.
But how surprising is it though to hear that these guys think this way? That's another part of it too. It's almost like, there's no surprise in it when any of this stuff happens.
Yeah.
For me, because it's just
this is the way they set it up.
The world we live in now is taking a tact of let's not be overtly who we are. You know what I mean? Like that's the climate. It's politically not correct, the politically correctness to use that term. But I think for a guy like Sterling or these guys to actually hear it nowadays, I think is the more offensive part than anything else. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not surprised that guy feels that way. You know what I mean? And the fact that he got caught, I think, is great. But again, like you said, what's the bottom line? The guy got to sell his team and make 50% on what he paid for it.
It's funny, man, because white folks had this code, and you notice it amongst those who have money. It's like, man, if you get caught out there, I'm throwing you under the bus. Let's just, you know what I mean? And it's understood. It's like, even though we doing the same shit, I'm just as racist a motherfucker as you would. But if you get caught on tape saying some shit, oh, you the slimiest motherfucker, bro. I'm gonna let everybody know. Alright? And that's how I feel. And they cool. They don't mind, oh, you gotta turn on me. Alright, fuck me. You know what I mean? That's how they I don't get that. I don't get that shit.
It's bottom line, man. It's bottom line.
I get it, I just don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying?
It's not as devastating on their side of the table. You know what I'm saying? Because
it's already understood, I suppose.
Like, I'm gonna throw you under the bus, but there's a bunch of motherfuckers on the back. They're gonna pull you up. They're gonna dust you off. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna be right. And then you get to come to the party after.
Right.
Yeah, they land on their feet. That's for sure. EPA guy that resigns, my man's gonna have himself a job with fucking Amoco or Exxon or whoever the hell's still, still in business. It's like, come on, man. They land on their feet. Always. Shit. And I think that's where the sports side of it is one of those things where they're trying to play the middle of the road. So that's why it's no longer acceptable, and that's why, again, you step outside the lines, it's like, got big, you know. God bless, good night. You know, we'll fill your seat with somebody else. You know, big issue, man. You know, speaks to the political climate, man.
I was hoping when that thing happened in the NBA, and this is a big hope, that the majority of the players would realize, hey, let's put our money together and do our own fucking thing. Let's try to book out some arenas. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's have our own league, because the fans gonna go where the players go.
That's what makes what Ice Cube's doing phenomenal, man. You know, as you mentioned that. You know, I've only been able to watch a few games on TV, but it looks like an event I'd want to go see in person. You know, I think they're coming to New York soon too. But he's done a good job of providing a platform for cats who still could play, maybe not at the level of obviously the NBA guys, but still have it in them to play at that level, right? You know what I mean? And put on the show. You know, and I think that that's a beautiful thing. You know, because that's a man who's in control of what he's doing. Yeah, he has partners. Yeah, he has people he works with, but I mean that's next level. And it's not easy. Again, like you said, in theory, you want to create your own environment, but that shit is not easy.
Yeah.
You know, like that shit is hard. I respect it, man.
I'm also intrigued by the LeVar Ball League. You know what I'm saying? Because like Ice Cube is 3-on-3, and it's with veterans, people who are out of the league. But LeVar Ball's league, it's high school players and people just out of, you know what I'm saying, high school who are deciding that college isn't the move for me. Or I'm out of college and I'm still trying to make it to the league, you know what I'm saying, and the G League isn't what I'm trying to do right now.
It gives them a chance to utilize their skills and get something in
It
return.
offers a different option.
Yeah, I've been playing ball for the last 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this is a skill I can put on a resume now and get some money with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't have to go sacrifice another 4 years to roll the dice to see if that happens. You know what I mean? So I think it's beautiful, man. I think it's beautiful. It's going to shake up the NCAA after a few years, I would imagine. You know, in some regard, because the NBA can still draft from that pool of talent that they chose. So it all works out. It all works out, man. So I ain't even mad, bro. I ain't mad at all. But we gonna see, man. But that's just an example of independent thinking, man. And not letting other people think for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a powerful statement. I just want to see more of it.
Collectively.
Yeah,
You know what
definitely.
I'm saying? Because you see independent thinking independently, but we need to see it as a group. We need to, you know what I'm saying? We need to plan for our future. Not our, like individually, our, like everybody who's coming after us. Like we're just not cognizant enough of the part we play in our future. You know what I'm saying? Like, some folks put work in for us to be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just sitting here doing this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some folks that will never know. You know what I'm saying? Either of us, all three of us, will never get to meet. You know what I'm saying? We'll never know their contributions. But if they didn't show up to do what they do, you know what I'm saying, things would be different. And like, if that doesn't sound dope to be a part of, like, you think different than I do. Because like, I'm trying to get through that shit. Like, that shit sounds ill.
Yeah, man.
Like, come on.
Yeah, man. It's, you know, the most dangerous thing I think us or anybody can do is let somebody else think for them. You know what I mean? We let somebody else think for us, we're going to be exactly where they want us to be. At the end of the day, you know, it's like I can't say it no plainer. I probably said it before. I ain't say it again. You know, we not determining our own destiny. There's somebody else out there who already has. You know what I mean? It's either we're going to follow the path somebody else laid for us, or we're going to lay a path for ourselves. And those are the only two choices in life, really, if we look at it. And sometimes there's a lot of pain in laying that path for yourself, but once it's laid, it's well worth it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
And we don't always have to lay the path for us. Like, there are models of success that you can follow to get to where you're trying to go. And I don't know where the idea that you do it on your own came from, but every model of success is indicative of collaboration. If you're not doing it, you can't do it by yourself. There's nothing that you can do that is of significance that ain't gonna require some other people.
I heard a great saying one time, man. It said, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go together. You know?
We trying to go far.
Depends on, depends on the task and the goal. But I think at the end of the day, you got to know where you land on that. You know?
That's real. That's real. We all here with each other for a reason, and hopefully you all have been with us here today for a reason as well.
Appreciate y'all tuning in, though.
Always do.
Know the code.
Always do.
Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We need some comments, man. Let us know where we could, maybe touch on some subjects y'all might think need some light, or anything we could do to improve. So we appreciate y'all being involved.